new core, new characters, new interactions, scenarios, mysteries, trading, bunch of different things starting to be set up from the last episode, and we're gonna just kind of continue a little bit more onwards. They think they do a really good job at setting us up on like a wider scale of a bunch of things, but didn't introduce, I guess, our immediate conflict and stuff. Well, maybe introducing the people and stuff that'll be involved. Not the exact thing that we're going to be going for. So I'm assuming probably this episode or next one they'll have to we'll get into that a little bit, which is when we'll start really latching on to what is to come. So I'm excited to see exactly what else they have for us to get into. Hopefully you guys enjoy. If you like it all, like and subscribe to me, to me, feel free to stick around for the discussion. Let me comment on this episode of series. Let's go on episode 15 of Spice and Wolf. Was it Nightmare of... I wouldn't even say nightmare, but just dream of her leaving, possibly? Or just recalling the things that happened. Because he seemed pretty happy when we came back. And he noticed that she was there. I don't know.
現代記作家ああ、この町にいないか。あれか、貴族や教会から金をもらって町の日記をつけている奴らか。あれは日記じゃなくて、
Thank you for saying that, because I had no clue what it
同
was.
じようなもんだ。多妙なものに興味を持ったな。
それでいきなり訪ねるのもなんだから、誰か仲介できるような人を知らないか。
ローエンのやつの方がいいだろう。
That would be best for us,
召喚
yes.
にギロトスって名前の古株の行商人がいる。恐れ知らずの男でな。この町で最も関わっちゃならない連中と商売をしている。
Damn.
だからその年代記作家とも懇意のはずだ。
That would make sense.
話を通しておいてやるよ。
助かる。
Thanks, brother.
ああ、あと俺はニョヒラに行く予定なんだ。北からの客にあっちの方の道や土地のことも。
そのくらいなら構わないぜ。
Thank you. What a guy, dude. Really helping us out.
に着せてちゃ後が怖い。
じゃあついでにもう一ついいか。
え、今度はなんだ。
うまいパンが欲しいんだ。お前がおろしている得意先を教えてくれないか。
Gotta get some nice stuff for Hollow. What a way to wake up.
って小麦のパンを買ってきたんだよ。
Happy as ever.
主は食べんのかよ。
No, for you.
俺はいい。先に味見で食べてきた。
そうかや。もう祭りに行けるんじゃろ。
悪いな。まだ無理。
Aw. Wanted to have fun.
冗談でもそういうのはやめてくれないか。
やはり主はこういうのに弱いのかや。
I am too. I am too. I get it.
ちょっと今細かいのがないが。
There you go.
あんまり派手に使うなよ。
She's gonna blow it instantly. This is gonna be a disaster.
やはり一人で行っても仕方ないかや。
Not faking it this
主の
time.
用事は何かや。
え？
そっちに連れて行ってもらえるなら、これは改心数。だから連れて行ってくれぬかや。
I was wondering why she was on the same level as him.
その
That
まま別
explains
のとこ
it.
ろに行くかもしれないんだ。待ってもらうにしても、ほとんどずっとになる。明日からは落ち着くはずだ。だから今日は一人で我慢してくれないか。
まあ、主の邪魔をするのもよ。
Yeah, we saw what happened last time.
ブラブラしてきんす。
Be safe. Be safe.
帰りが二人になっておったら、主は悪いが部屋から出てくりゃれ。
あ？
We're definitely bringing the other kid back. I can't remember his name. Madi or something? I don't remember.
まあ、今のところ、主の腕の中が一番じゃからな。安心するがよい。
I haven't found anybody who's up to you yet.
ヨイツは熊の化け物によって滅ぼされたというのです。
By a bear?
本当だとは限らない。
A singular bear? After we can transform into all this? Well, I guess there might be like a bear guy.
見ればわかる。棺桶を縦に潰したような大男で。
ロレンスさん、
Looks like a coffin crushed vertically.
また喜んでいただけるようなものを見つけてきましょう。
Oh, yeah, you will. We need that, though.
街のご案内もできれば
With
なと思い
Hollow
まして。
around specifically.
はい。 こうして出会ったことも神のお導きでしょうし、行商人の方のお話を伺え。
Oh, alright. That's cool. That's smart.
そういえば連れのホロも街を見て回りたいと朝からこねてましたね。
もしよろしければ
Yeah, that would be even
ご案内い
better.
たしますよ。
ああ、そんな申し訳ない。
実は今日はもう仕事がなくて暇なんです。
Damn.
一人では商売の儲けが先になるだけですし、ぜひご案内させ。
This is better for me. I know my limits.
ギ・バトスです。
Ah, no, you look like a good dude. They describe him like he was this big old giant.
年代記作家を探しているということですが、私が昔話などに興味を持ったのはここ最近ですよ。何十年も商売で同じ場所を行き来していて、ふと思ったんです。
There's more to the world, yeah.
のはものすごく
There's more than where I am. Wow.
前から人が行き来していて、
Yeah, it's crazy.
私はその時のことを知らないということに。
That's huge.
ですから、私が見てこられなかった世界と、また神様の意地悪のせいで遡る。
You've experienced that as of recent. She's experienced that. That's the purpose of the adventuring, you know?
ここは教会に追われてきた者たちが住む国です。
We protect them.
はい。この町の中では罪人でなくとも、リュビンハイゲンあたりでは即縛り首にされる連中だ。なんて思われていますが。ここの皆さん、いい人たちです。
Except for the church. They don't think that they are. But everybody else thinks so. Ah. I thought it was just like a big, like, house.
これは異様ですか。錬金術師相手の商売というのは儲かりますか。危険もたくさんつきまとう気がするのですが。
金、銀、銅は言うに及ばず、鉄、鉛、鈴、水銀、硫黄、リンなども
I get about everything.
鉄に鉛ですか。思ったよりも普通なんですね。
錬金術師は魔法使いだと思われているようですが、実際は金細工師と大して変わりません。
Ah.
もっとも魔法を研究されている方がいるというのも事実です。ただそんな方は私も噂程度にしか聞いたことがありません。
So he's telling us that whatever one we're about to meet does not dabble in magic. And is pretty tame. Is this the lady from the OP? It is. I think so.
バトスさんじゃない。
お久しぶりです。元気そうで何よりです。
それはこっちのセリフよ。
Yeah, it's definitely
ドラ
her.
ムの山を歩き回って無事だなんて、よほど神様に好かれているんだね。あら、いい男。けどその顔は私。
You kind of have that aura.
リアン・ルーベンスです。
え？
男の名前みたいでしょ。リアナとお呼びください。
Alright.
てっきり商売の話かと思ったのに。
No, no.
商売の話に来たら叩き出しますでしょ。
けれども私がお望みの話を知っているかどうか。
私がお聞きしたいのは、ヨイツという町についての昔話なのですが。
ああ、ヨイツ。
God, she's so hot. What the fuck?
という町ですね。
Oh no. What the fuck do they mean by hunting the moon? Like, what does that even mean? Yeah, what does that mean?
イラワウィルムヘッド変動とでも発音するのかな。
Bro, he's huge.
かなり
Or was he just on them? No.
その熊のお話ならいくつかありますよ。
熊の話ではなく、ヨイツの町についてな。
I just want to know about the town before they were destroyed.
場所。
わかりませんか。
Silence. I'm thinking.
思い出した。プロアニアよりももっと北を流れるローム川の源流にレノスという町が村に一匹の狼が現れり、名をヨイツのフォローと名乗り、身の丈は見上げるほどに高いなり、時折娘の姿になり変わり、村の
Huh, sounds familiar. Huh.
見目よく年の頃若し、けだし人のものならざるを言
It is a beautiful tale.
しばし戯るる後、村の豊作を約束し、南へと下るなり。
お礼はぜひ近いうちに。お、
私はこの通り、教会から追われてもなお、異教の地の昔話が大好きなの。
Look at all the knowledge
教
behind
会
her.
によってねじ曲げられていない言い伝え通りの昔話が
The clear distinction between that two.
の一つでもあるでしょ
I gave you info. You gotta share it with something.
ではとっておきの話を。
What are you gonna say?
とある麦の大産地でのこと。そこでは
Yeah.
豊作を司る狼が祀られていました。
一人で姉さんのところに行くと方々がうるさいのでいい口実でした。それにとても楽しいお話も聞けました。また誘ってください。
ええ、ぜひ。
久しぶり。
ご無沙汰してます。
Who are you?
色と
I was with the wife.
行き先が変わったレノスって町があるだろ。
なんだ、ニョヒロ方面の話はいくつか。
Got me running around.
はあ、連れと仲違いという話は本当だったのか。
なんだって？
調べはついてるぜ、色男。お前が上等の宿にえらく美人な修道女と泊まっているのは周知のことだ。まったく神を恐れぬ所業とは。
俺と連れは酒の魚になるような間柄じゃない。アマーティさんが暇で町の案内を買って出てくれた。それだけのことだ。
Nothing crazy. Nothing
同
crazy.
じ行商人だったヨシミから忠告するが、アマーティを侮るなよ。あいつがあの若さでどれだけの量の魚を扱っているか知ってるか？
Probably more than I could imagine.
実際に見たしな。でも心配無用だ。連れはそんな軽薄なやつじゃないよ。
すごい自信だな。俺はアデーレのやつがアマーティと連れ立って歩いてるなんて聞いたら、もうダメだとあっさり諦めるな。
私がアマーティさんとなんだって。
What are you accusing me of
お前が
again?
愛しくてたまらない。俺は嫉妬の炎で身を焼かれてしまう。と言ったんだ。
勝手に焼いてればいいさ。私はその日でアマーティさんのために美味しいパイを焼いてやるからさ。
アデーレ、悪かった。
Excuse me?
手仕舞い手伝うから。
A lot of good foods.
お前その襟巻き。
主よ、ちょっと手伝ってくれる？
What a mess.
こんな高そうなものまで買わせて。
No, he willingly did it.
おい、他に何か買ってもらったものは？
Bask in the morning.
これは
Gold?
実に質の良い毛皮じゃ。わっちの尻尾には劣るがね。
It's nothing compared to
こんな
me.
高価なものもらったら。
わっちは旅の修道女で、わっちを売り飛ばそうとしておった悪い輩から主が助けてくれたと答えておいた。
It's not that
わっ
wrong.
ちは主から助けられたが大借金を背負う羽目になった。とても返せぬので道中の安全を神に祈ることで返済しているさなか、そんな哀れな身の上でありんすい。
That was shameful.
と悲しげに言っておいた。それは占い師が使っておってな。何でも運命が見えるサイコロなんじゃと。
I don't know about all that.
よくそんなものを作ったと感心するほどじゃ。
They might have magic here.
間違いなしじゃね。
たわけ。こんなものが売れると思うのか？
なんじゃと？
こいつは
Think they just let normal people buy those?
この形のまま採掘されてるんだよ。に見せかけた詐欺に使われるかだな。そんなの他に買ってるやつなんていなかったろ。
たくさんおった。
I think I'm people, because I assumed it was gold too.
魔除けになるとかで欲しがるものはとても多かった。
そんなの信じる
Yeah,
のか？
I don't know about all that.
占い師の腕が良くてな、わっちもうなるほど見事じゃったからの。このサイコロもアマーティが競り落とした。
競り？そこまでだったのか？
かなりみんな
Oh, I thought they were giving them out to everybody. Oh.
多かった。
祭りの雰囲気を利用したのか。うまい商売を考えついたもんだ。
It is. Oh, he's here. Oh no. Yeah, hide. Oh, never
だから
mind.
申し訳ありません。主人からのことづてがあり
で、ことづてというのは？
はい、実は
Oh, you gotta tell me. I'm assuming info he found out about the city. What a crazy cut. Okay. We expand so much more on so many of the characters, the city and stuff that we're within, leading us to cliffhanger moment of likely really blowing things open and getting us our thinking caps on and for what's to come. But I think that's a real strength so far that's being displayed, and something I'm really intrigued in. That I can't maybe necessarily say I felt maybe with the other arcs. Just something about the presentation of the characters, whether it's Mark himself or his dynamic with his wife, or whether it's Diana, or whether it is just anybody, Amadi, right? Just introduction of these characters who all feel very strong and very intriguing and make me kind of want to know more, like what their kind of role is, and picking up on like exactly what they're going to play or what their role is going to be to play out in this arc, I think is really doing an excellent job with setting them up so far before we start really ramping everything up. A couple really big things coming out of this too, with almost confirmation from Diana to figure out exactly what we're trying to confirm, right? Getting that confirmation of the story that we've heard before with the destruction of Hollow's hometown, the understanding of the other town, and starting to apply a lot of stuff together here, and then now starting to question and pick up on information, or wanting to get information about these other places and where they're possibly headed, learning a lot more about this bear and this creature, right? What are they called? The moon bear or something? It was something along those lines. I'll see it specifically when I go back through, but it's interesting because we do see these figures and these things that we can create with somebody like Hollow, who can become this big old beast if she really wants to. So what's, I guess, stopping something I've never really questioned there being other things out there like that, right? What's there stopping us from having a bear that can transform even further than being a bear into like a super bear, right? I mean, it could also just be a bear in itself that for whatever reason is just massive anyways, but still, I think that's a really awesome. It scares me. It gives me like Final Destination, let's get to the end, and then we're going to arrive, and he's actually going to be at the town still, and he just took it over for himself, basically destroyed absolutely everything and took it over, and then we're gonna have to face off against him, and that definitely concerns me a lot. So hopefully that's not the case, but we can't just bring it up and then not have it be relevant again later, right? It's got to come up at some point. It's probably not going to be within this core at all, but maybe future season and future times within the novel. I think it would likely be something that we end up running into. But lots of confirmation about that, lots of info to kind of steer us towards where we need to figure out some stuff about next in the city and stuff that we need people to look into. And her introduction being extremely strong of somebody who has this mysterious aura kind of about them, who clearly has a lot of knowledge, who is very smart with the way that she operates, not, just wanting to see absolutely anybody, wanting to make sure that she can gain extra info and stuff for further conversations and stuff that she's going to need with other people. Just really smart dealings all around, and she's a extremely interesting person for me so far. I was very engaged with everything that she was saying, and I don't know if it's just because her voice actress did a really good job kind of nailing it, or if it was like the tone of, I think, what really needed to be done for her character, or whether it's her design, which is absolutely stunning, or what it is. But something about it really got me engaged. Coming directly off of that though, and towards the back end, being left wondering about Pyrite itself and what it really is, or what we know it to be, but why exactly it was so special in this moment. Usually you find like one person that you can kind of trick when nobody else is around, so people don't call you out for the scam or anything that you're on. But instead, now we have a large crowd of people, and we have to end up auctioning a bunch of this stuff off, for somebody to actually win it. What was so special about this that made everybody really intrigued, that made them want it? And of course, Lawrence, being a merchant, is immediately going to be wondering that too. I mean, because if he can get his hands on something that seems to be as common and basic as this, that typically is viewed as a scam due to people wanting to get like these things, thinking that they're getting like these big old gold cubes and everything, what can we do to kind of capitalize and work towards that? Well, you have no info about it because there is no market for something like this, because it doesn't really exist. So where do you go from here? Immediately starting to make him question, because also, what if something like this actually existed and it had these certain powers or whatever that they were claiming it for? What do we do now that if we actually had an item that was like that? So there's so much kind of at play regarding things like that I think it makes it really intriguing for what is to come forward. I almost have a suspicion that the thing that we're going to find out, the information that we're going to find out through the remark is going to kind of be maybe relevant to this, but it might also not be. It might just be more so information that's relevant to the town that he asked him to kind of look into again. So I'm not certain, I guess. This sequence, I don't know if it's just like a fear of like seeing what she could be and then waking up like still dealing with like the trauma or something that he's had for however long with dealing with like the big old wolves and stuff that we've hear him say before. So him dreaming about it is still kind of maybe something that's on his mind and scaring him, or if it's a concern of like Hollow kind of turning and possibly running away, or what could have gone wrong in that situation and being more so relieved that she's still kind of here, or that they're in more of a comfortable spot than they had to be in that scenario or something. I don't actually know, and I don't think I can get the best read on that. We are essentially talking to the boy here about trying to find somebody who's going to be able to figure out a bunch of our stories and or tell us a bunch of stories and things, having all this stuff documented for us, which is essentially all we need. But we need a third party person to kind of come in and introduce us to them, and it's not something that, because he doesn't necessarily know himself either, and even if so, it'd be a lot easier and more convenient for this, because it might be a little bit more sketchy if he just individually kind of goes in there, especially not meeting this person or anything before. So being introduced to them through somebody else, I think, works out pretty well. We get some bread for Hollow, which I love. I love her whole opening sequence of getting up and waking up and like doing this, shaking out the tail, just laying there and being completely destroyed until she smells the bread and immediately perks up, which I think is great. She wants to go to the festival and is not very happy at all that Lawrence doesn't. She's basically trying to get the point across here that she wants to go, but only wants to go because she can spend time with him, and he's not really picking up on that, I don't think. But also he has very important things and stuff that he has to worry about, so you gotta cut him some slack. I love her doing this and dropping the ears and everything, but you can tell by like her tail constantly moving around and her excitement and stuff too that she's not exactly telling the truth here, which I think is really funny. She's learned his weaknesses and stuff, which is great, giving him some money, but she still kind of wants to go with him and trying to find excuses to spend more time with him, even though he wants to end up being alone. I mean, we talked about the things that have happened before and the negatives that can kind of come about with them being together, specifically off of the last arc. So this is probably for the better for that not to be the case. Also, if she were to learn a whole bunch of these negative and bad things about possibly her town and the place that she wants to go back to, it might not be like too good for her mentally or anything. But at the same time, do we really want to keeping all that stuff secret from her? I don't know the exact route that we should be going. Nice little chat with Amadi, who just basically is like, yeah, I got you. I can hook you up and walk you around. We end up asking if Hollow wants to come, and he's immediately lights up and he's like, oh, absolutely. You don't got to convince him twice, you know. He would have did it on his own. He probably would have even asked. I was assuming that that's what we were going to do. We were going to run into him there, and then they were going to end up going together, but ended up not happening. But we end up seeing later he bought her a bunch of shit, so he was very excited for it. We end up meeting the boy who comes through and introduces us and expands the world and everything so much more, as he talks about how his world was expanded so much more, learning, you know, that having this simple life where he's kind of set down in one place is great and all, but there's so much out there and there's so many things to learn and explore and adventure and figure out, and he thinks that's awesome. And that's why he loves so much about Lawrence just being a traveling merchant and the stuff that he can kind of go through, which is pretty cool. And then we go into this area where a bunch of outcasts, essentially people that the church is trying to do away with, right? Which, I mean, makes sense. The church definitely would have it out for anybody who is, you know, suspicious in any sort of way of them, so they have to end up hiding out from here. It's nice. It's like a whole like little town. I thought when we immediately got like this look of it, we were going to go in and it was just going to be like a big old like apartment building or something where they were all living in. But instead it's like a big old town that gets blocked off by the walls here, which I think is pretty sick. And then we learn a lot about them and the type of people kind of being here, what they're buying up, what they're likely probably trying to do with all of it. They're pretty normal. Some of them try and look into magic, which is what I'm more so wondering if that's where the thing with the pirate and stuff come in later through the fortune teller or not. But it doesn't seem like we have really found anybody, or there is anybody that we know of that lives here that is actively working on or trying to do any of that stuff. And then we get introduced to Ms. Diana, what's her last name? Rubens, Miss Diana Rubens, or Dion Rubens, who then goes through and gives us essentially the whole backstory of everything that we kind of wanted to learn about the town. Where we talk about the bear, the moon hunting bear, that was his name. Like, look at him. Where is he sitting too? It looks like he's just like chilling on the earth and he's just up touching the fucking thing. Like, I wonder if that's actual two size, you know? He had the capabilities of doing something like that. Would be absolutely nuts, but not interested in that. I just need to know about the town, where we end up shifting course a little bit from Yotsu exactly to the other town that we talked about before, to now having a town called Lenos that we end up learning about and telling us essentially the origin story, I'm assuming, of Hollow, unless this is like something else completely, but that was my assumption the entire time, and where she was ultimately till the point that we met her, and then Lawrence ends up spilling his story because she asked him, you know, to return something properly, and we end up spilling our story of probably what all of Core 1 kind of was. And where she had been since. So the conversation was really intriguing for it maybe not having, I guess, too much that was like realistically new information. I mean, I guess it kind of was because we didn't know anything about it, but it all felt like things that I almost felt like I kind of already expected or knew. But it was still engaging regardless, and I'm interested a lot more to learn things about her. I love how he also makes a note of like, it was better to be with somebody like so. A lot of people do it. Wait, what did he say? I don't know. I can't find the line. I thought he said something about, oh yeah, he did. It was right here. When he goes and visits her a lot. It's like, why are you always there? What are you always doing? We finally meet the boy's wife, Adele, which is nice. And we have a nice little conversation about a bunch of the things that we need him to like start figuring out, going different places, the rumors and all the things that have been kind of spread, that they've been figuring out from where they came from, which is really funny. And then threatening, or not threatening, but waving caution of Amadi and kind of steering clear possibly of him due to the confirmation that we get this episode with his wealth definitely being what we were assuming, him being so successful, especially at a young age, and his ability to kind of possibly take anybody that he realistically wants here, which definitely has Mark a little bit worried with Adele, which they make for like a really funny interaction between the two of them. I would love to get a little bit more. She got a little bit of personality to her. I like her. Until we get home and find out, yeah, you've been buying up a whole bunch of things for her, which is insane. She's too destroyed though. We're gonna wait till the morning to actually talk about it, which we end up learning a lot about the pyrite and everything, which I talked about, which I'm assuming largely has like important things to come about this arc, but I don't have a clear guess as to really where we're headed regarding it, unless it was literally just Lawrence turning on his brain of like, oh, we could probably maybe do something out of this and scam a bunch of people and make some money. I don't know. The fortune teller, just like from this shot, kind of reminds me of Diana, but I don't actually think it is, but interested regardless. They want to do it to ward evil away or heal sickness, believing that all of this stuff is essentially like inscribed within it, which I just not buying it all, but who knows? I mean, we did talk about the possibility of other people working within magic and doing stuff, so I guess that could always be an option, regardless. I love this kid walking in and seeing Hollow like this. I'd be like, what the fuck? But we do have a message, actually, and we don't get to hear any more of it. So very quick cut too, I think, to the end. Very much fun though. Flew by, enjoyable. Loved a lot of the characters. Introduction between them are expanding on people that we've kind of already known a little bit, and I'm excited to see, I guess, crack this thing really open and figure out what's really going to be in store for us going forward. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you liked it all, like and subscribe to me on, feel free to check out the videos and channel and comments with this specific series. We'll be back for episode 16 next week. It was a great one. Peace.